Way back in March this year, Google unveiled a completely new idea they had been working on, a bold vision for what many considered to be the future of gaming. It was called Stadia. It was only earlier this year in June that Google did another press event, Stadia Connect, where they unveiled even more details about their upcoming gaming platform, a platform they claim to be for everyone.
And when we say for everyone, we really mean it.
But as with most product launches in the tech space, the hype far exceeded the reality. Stadia had the potential to be the future of gaming, but maybe not for everyone. You don't have to look far in the comments section to see people bashing every aspect about it. But don't bash it because it caters to a market that doesn't include you, because it suits a need case that isn't yours. This product is complementing the gaming ecosystem. It means more competition and it means more choice, which is a good thing for the industry. This isn't a video talking about how amazing Stadia will be, or why it's potentially the future of gaming. This is a video that aims to clarify a misconception among the gaming community. So with that said, dear PC Master Race, Stadia is not meant for you. Now let's explore why. The misconception that many gamers seem to have is they think Stadia is an alternative to their desktop PC at home. If I had $1 for every person who criticized Stadia, who also owned a gaming PC, I'd have enough money to build my own rig. The reason for this is probably because Stadia is a new type of gaming technology, a new strategy by a company completely new to gaming, with concepts like the fact it's subscription-based and only usable online seemingly throwing people off. So, if PC gamers aren't going to use it, who will?
Ha 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 ha! Dirty console gaming peasants! Just ignore him.
Put simply, I think Stadia is Google's take on a console. It may not look like a console at home, or work exactly like it, but over the handful of public press events they've done, they've dropped multiple clues that hint towards this being the case. Let's go over a few of them. Number 1. It's going to offer frame rates that only go up to 60 frames per second. This reason alone is enough to dissuade a large portion of PC gamers from trying out Stadia. 60 FPS is the gold standard for what consoles aim to achieve with most titles these days. The fact that Stadia will have up to 10.7 teraflops of compute power. 10.7 teraflops. That's almost double the Xbox One X, which is already capable of playing FPS titles like Doom and Battlefield at 4K 60 frames per second. Therefore, it's not a technical limitation to have an option that lowers resolution and pushes frame rates to 120 plus. And yet Google has made a conscious decision to limit the FPS to a maximum of 60 at launch. This is very telling when working out who they're targeting this product towards. Number 2. Google's going to offer 2 tiers, Pro and Standard. Pro being 4K 60 frames per second, Standard being 1080p 60 FPS. You know what else targets those specs? Yep, Stadia is positioned perfectly to compete with current gen consoles like the PS4 and PS4 Pro, and next gen consoles like the PS5, and obviously their Xbox counterparts. In fact, if we go one step further and take a look at the ownership cost of Stadia Pro, it will be priced almost identically to the PS5. If you break down the ownership cost of a console, let's assume that the PS5 is $499. Most of you will know that the upfront cost of $499 is only part of the story. You also have to pay to play online for most games. If we look at the cost over 7 years, which is the usual life cycle of a console, you can see here that it adds up to $60 times 7, which is $420. We also have peripheral costs for things like the controller, which is $0 because it's included with the console. This adds up to a total of $919 over 7 years. Now when we compare these numbers to Stadia Pro, we can see that this is almost identical to the cost of the PS5. We have a subscription cost of $10 a month, with an additional peripheral cost of $70 to buy a new controller. Stadia would be even cheaper if you already had one. This adds up to $910 over its life, which is under 1% difference in price, making them practically identical from a financial perspective if you were to hold onto your PS5 and never sell it. Number 3. Finally, I think this last point is one of the most telling. That is, that Google is launching Stadia with their own controller built for the platform. Even though Stadia accepts mouse and keyboard inputs, and many gamers prefer it for its extra level of precision, keybinds, hotkeys, as well as macros, and yet Google's focused on selling new players a controller to go with Stadia for the best gaming experience. Alternatively, because Stadia is a cloud-based gaming console, perhaps Google intended on only selling their own controller because they anticipated users gravitating towards playing on mobile devices like their phones and tablets, and saw a controller as a more streamlined experience for gaming on the go. It's a possibility, but I think it's somewhat unlikely. So with all that said, I hope this clarifies the potential offering that Stadia is. If you're a PC gamer, Stadia Pro is going to be largely unimpressive for you. Many of you are going to have a better experience with the hardware that you already have. That means less latency, better frame rates, offline play, a better guarantee of owning your games for the long term, and a better selection of games for the first few years as well. If you're a console peasant, well, the value proposition that Stadia presents is a little different, but that's a video for another day. If you want to hear more about that, please subscribe and turn on that notification bell to stay posted for a Stadia versus console video coming soon. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.